guys, thanks so much for reading my article this month. I wanted to show a few images to explain things a little bit further. This first image is obviously straight out of camera as is. We're looking at a really good image, just really solid image, but I'm having a really hard time getting to the bride and groom. You have a whole lot of area up in this area that is the same tonality or maybe even a little bit lighter than the bride and groom. We have this extra fire escape over here on the left hand side. In some cases that can really add to the image, and other times, the fact that it's cut off sort of bugs me. So I don't want to see that anymore. There's just reflections, and the foreground's really bright. Really loving the pose. Yeah, and in my perfect world, the groom's hand wouldn't probably be right there. But again, solid image right out the gate. And so we want to actually take this a little bit further. We want to sort of tone it up. We want to give it a really old feel, and we want to draw your eye directly into the bride and groom. As part of that, we're looking at some different borders and just some texture, turning on this old lamp right in here, and the final image ends up being this. And so here we turned on the light, burned it, and burned things way, way, way down. Obviously toned down over the building, gave it a really old feel, almost like a light leak on an old negative up here in this corner. And when you see this initially, you immediately go to the white dress of the bride, and then you start to see the other parts of the story. The bride and groom, very old school style. These guys had a lot of really vintage and very classic parts of their wedding. In fact, recreated a photo from that their grandparents had back in the 1940s, if I recall correctly. So that's actually one of the cool things about being able to take this image and really give it that sort of old school feel. So this is just one example. We'll move on. Here we go. Nice couple, relatively well exposed on their skin. Um, it's a nice fall day. There's actually not a whole lot that needs to be done, to take this to the next level. I think a little bit of dropping in a new sky. You got that really hot spot back there behind them. The sun and the sun flare is always gonna draw a hot spot, of course. But being able to add a little bit of depth into the sky will definitely help. In in some ways, being able to help and trim up her arm a little bit. This girl is by no means in any way, shape, or form overweight or even large. She's a very petite girl. Just the way that the perspective is here. Her arm looks a little bit big, so we'll clean that up a little bit. And then just overall give it a nice warm fall feel. Really drive home the fact that this was a late October wedding, and they loved it, and it was a beautiful day. And this is the final image. So we came in, dropped it, and actually enhanced the sun flare, so it's actually coming across the image a little bit here. And then we came in, dropped in a new sky, sort of filled things in. I'll do a before and after here so you can see it again. So we trimmed in her arm, and a little bit in her back. In a perfect world, and this is up to discretion again, some people would find the long blades of grass being really, really distracting. We decided to leave it in. They're in the middle of a field, so it's a back and forth thing that you can do. Sometimes it's going to be worth taking it out. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes it's just a matter of increasing the overall feel of the image. So that's what we did here. And yeah, so let's run through these again really quick, just to give you the back and forth, just so you can see. Thanks again, guys, for reading my article. Looking forward to talking to you next month.